Hello there my viewer. Thank you for checking out my video. I'm so excited about the channel's first series. And this marks the first episode of 5 where I'll be doing circuit experience around my top 5 favorite tracks, starting with Brands Hatch GP. Then Interlagos. Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. Monza. And Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. So first up, as you noticed, Brands Hatch is my number 1 track. There are so many highlights, or should I say, achievements I gained on this track. If I have to pick only one, it would definitely be my first endurance race back on GT Sport. We were 2 drivers, an hour and a half race for each, where I won my race after qualified P8, and my partner finished 3rd, which gave us P2 overall. There is just something special about this track and it suits my driving style pretty well. I'm going to finish this warm-up lap and then we can jump over to the Brands Hatch GP circuit experience where I'll be covering all 4 sectors and share my thought process during my lap attack. See you there. Starting up with Sector 1, Turn 1 is called Paddock Hill Bend and is a medium speed bend where not 100% brakes are needed, but also not bottling it by throwing too much speed into the inside bend. Corner 2, Druids, this corner is slow but a fast turning corner. Later in the turn, the elevation goes down and the weight of your car at the rear might cause oversteer. In the circuit experience at Brands Hatch, I'm driving the Radical SR3, it has a very loose rear, very high torque, but when you get the traction right, it sticks. Now let's have a look and see, as this is my very first attempt. I made turn 1 which is good, but hopefully I can finish the sector. This turn 2 I know is very slow, but I always think about a fast rotation to get the exit angle quickly. There, that was not too bad for attempt number 1. After getting slightly used to the car, I improved little by little, but also making mistakes as I pushed too hard, losing focus and plainly getting frustrated, but this is what it takes me to improve my sector times. Now from my first attempt to my last and best attempt, I gained nearly 7/10 of a second and I'm happy with that. This is where all the frustration and hard work pays off. I'm on top of my friends list, so now they can push and try to improve. Most importantly, I learned the handling of my SR3, on my number 1 favorite track, and hey, this is just Sector 1. Feel free to share your sector time in the comments section down below. Let's head over to Sector 2 and see what other surprises awaits. Sector 2. Corner 3 called Graham Hill Bend, is a fast sweep left-hander where entry speed is crucial, but also not try to bottle it by running too wide on the exit. Corner 4. Surtees, this corner is slow to medium but require a balance of brakes and throttle to get a good run on Pilgrim's Drop. This is the corner you want to nail and do overtakes on Pilgrim Straight. I will always take it slow on the first attempt trying to get the feel for the brake inputs and corner exit throttle input, and from there I'll push the limits and improve on my sector time. Right, so having that as our first attempt sector time, let me see how many tenths or seconds I can gain to the last and best attempt of the session. Again, not too bad, and it didn't take me too long to beat the golden time. I was currently 7th on my friends' rankings, so surely I needed to push to get to my top spot again. Okay, another few tenths there. And a little bit more there. Here I got a bit worse, so let's do a handbrake turn across the sector line. With that frustration out of the way, let me gain some more. So far I've gone up my friends' rankings and is sitting uncomfortably behind the top spot. I'm not going to bore you with the actual footage, but after a billion retries, 1 trillion spinnies and a few anger management classes, I got to the top spot again with this attempt. And there we go. I gained almost 1.5 seconds from my first attempt at this current one. I'm a happy chappy, I'm on top, so what more do I want? Let's head over to Sector 3 and please bring your inspiration juice. Here we are, Sector 3. The toughest sector to get 100% right as it consists of 4 corners. Hawthorns and Westfield, corners 5 and 6. And then Sheen Curve and Sterling's, corners 7 and 8. Except for corner Sterling's, these corners are deadly when done incorrectly, but so rewarding when done right. I can't stress it enough, but make sure that your entry angles are sharp and not running too wide on the exits, as it has claimed more GT fans than my retries and spinnies combined. Wow, where did that come from? A racing alien once said. I am a racing AI, but I nearly got my golden time on my first attempt in this tough sector. After a very good start in this sector, I just couldn't get a grip. Spinny, after spinny, after spinny, this was going nowhere very quickly. After sorting my life out, confessing my spinnies, I went on my merry way and spin no more. Once you find the rhythm of this sector, it will become the most powerful weapon you have when competing on this track. So after a couple of improvements, I contended for the top spot again. Being in the groove, I brought home the bacon and settled with the results. Mission accomplished, gaining nearly a second from my first attempt to the last. I know for sure I can do better, but for now, I need you to top my friends' rankings. To the final sector, this shouldn't take too long. Welcoming Sector 4, Clark Curve, Corner 9, the last corner. If I had to give it a name, I will call it the Big Dipper, cause every time I take the corner correctly, I can feel my stomach going up, slight pause, and then back down. That's just the type of groove I have when I'm dialed in for this corner. I didn't really expect that, but I'll take it. Like I mentioned earlier, this won't take long. I achieved my golden time and will go straight to my final attempt at this sector and see how much was gained from my first to last attempt. That was nearly half a second gained. Man, I love this game, I love this corner, I love you my viewer. Ha ha ha. Sorry for my AI laugh, but that's all I got. I want to conclude this episode with my current fastest lap attack, followed by a track guide. Let's go. Ready for the track guide? Here we go. As the number 2 white board approaches on the left side of the track, I'm already thinking about braking just after it with ±75% braking input. Keeping it there until I reach the inside curb and then release it gradually and applying throttle easily before the downhill section of the curve. Focusing on the big black gantry over the track, my goal is to hit the brakes 100% as soon as the gantry fills the upper portion of my view or screen. Then only halfway into the turn, I release the brakes very slowly and start focusing on my corner exit marker. I will use that marker 99% of the time no matter what car I drive. When this piece of green barrier disappears out of my view, I will apply 75% brakes and release it before the turn, to give me that corner exit speed for the Graham Hill straight. This straight, I will call it my setup for overtake straight, as I want to get close to my opponent after the Surtees corner, and overtake on the Pilgrims downhill straight. When this number 1 white board disappears out of my view, I will apply 100% brakes and gradually bring it down to 75%, then release it to 0%. And when I cross this white line, I know it is safe to apply the throttle. Depending on the car, make sure you don't loose the rear by applying throttle too much too early. Wait for this red barrier mark to also disappear out of your view, and then hit the brakes at 75%. Which I failed to do, but I know you can do better. Keep the brakes at 75% until you reach the inner curve, and then you can gradually release the brakes and gradually apply the throttle for a good exit speed. Red barrier markers are your best friend on this track. Wait for the red marker to be on the edge of your view or screen for a quick 100% dab on the brakes, but also gradually releasing it before Westfield corner. Because I love you, here are 2 markers you can use. Try out both, and see which one works for you. I like to use the one on the right when it is just about to leave my screen. A quick dab on the brakes again and with enough speed so that you don't bottle it out wide. Rather keep your foot of the throttle until you are facing the marshals over there on the far right for safety, which is the next brake marker for Sterling's corner. Now this is a very basic medium corner, where you can learn your trail braking. 100% brake, trail brake into the apex and slam the throttle for a fast exit speed. And speaking of fast, here is Clark's corner. No, not Superman Clark, Brands Hatch Clark. Try to apply bakes between these two markers. Did I just said bakes? I mean brakes. Snaky neglected his spelling. As I briefly mentioned earlier, this I would call my Big Dipper corner. Up with the stomach, pause, and release the stomach. It's like taking a deep breath before crossing the line for a purple lap. And there we have it, my viewer. If you kept watching till now, please hit that like and subscribe icons and I will see you in the next episode. Until then, be smart, be fast, but most importantly, be the best you can be. Cheers.